Hi guys, and happy Sunday. Today is Sunday, March 27th, and I'm going to continue with our retired sets from the annual catalog, the 2021 through 2022 catalog, ending at the end of April. So today we're going to focus on Blossoms in Bloom, which I have the dies out. Is a 6-piece die set. So there's the 4 and then the 2 big ones, and then the stamp set. I have magnetics on both sides because, of course, that's what I do. And then here's the stamp set. Some flowers and a lot of great sayings. All right, so today we're going to use the Panorama card. We're going to do a Panorama card. Now, I got this off of janbcards.com, and I can't remember who. I think it was a Mary who originated it. Now, I did it all wrong in true Roxi fashion. It's supposed to be a panorama card. We're going to show you that here in a second, but we're going to go ahead and get some of the basics done for right now. So we're going to be using the dies. We're still using the retired colors. So I have, this is a 3.5 by 4 piece of Marvelous Magenta, 3.5 by 4 Bumblebee, and I have our adhesive sheets on the back. The adhesive sheets are not retiring. Yay. We're also going to be using our detailed trio punch, which is retiring. I can't believe it. I have to go back through and look through the PDF to see what's replacing it or if there's a similar one. But for my corner rounders, this was the one that I always used. So I'm going to be a little sad to see that go. We're going to be using Just Jade as a base. And we're going to be using Misty Moonlight as a as the border. And then, oh my God, when I was doing the alcohol inks, this is with the blends and the alcohol and these spritz, and this is also on adhesive and then on white cardstock. I had some of these that were left over. They were very, very weak. So that's what we're using as the background. And this one, I messed up the cuts. Don't worry, we're going to go through those together so that doesn't happen again. And most of these cards were for the landscape method, so we're going to keep up with that too. So for this method, I find that having that adhesive on the back is just so much better. Here I use the glue, the multi-purpose glue, and you can see it's kind of not the greatest. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to run this through our stamping cut emboss machine. I have all of the scraps on from my example. Again, I was cleaning or rearranging. I got a new countertop for the craft room, and so I was rearranging till wee early morning hours, and so I didn't get this prepared ahead of time either, so bear with me. Am I still on? Yes. Okay. So you're going to make sure that you have it at that 3.5. And what I do is I'm going to do the solid in the Marvelous Magenta, and I am going to put those 2 leaves right on that edge, and I'll show you why that's important. And so let's see. Yep, tap them all right along that edge. I'm going to run it through. Now, usually when I first made the example, I did not run it back and forth twice, but since I've added that layer of the adhesive sheets, I am going to do it just a couple times just to make sure it's all pressed together really good and cut through good. All right, let's take that out. These pieces should just fall away. And if not, take your pick tool, and we'll go ahead and run it over there. All right. Looks like it's separating pretty good. Do a few pokes so it'll fall out. And then wherever they didn't come out, look how they're just falling apart. They're just coming right out. It's a fabulous die. I didn't use it enough while it was still active, but isn't that always the case? You wait until they are retired and then we're like, oh, but why did you take it away from us? Okay, so we'll leave that over to the side for now. We're going to take our other die. So now we're going to take the more intricate die. Again, making sure we have the 3 1/2 this way. Going to go ahead and line it up with those two again. This way we know that we pretty much have the same amount. Alright, so here's those two, and then that's lined up there. So hopefully I did this right. The first time I did it, I used a bigger piece of paper. I didn't have it cut down to the 3 1/2 by 4, and that created even more of a problem. Even though I could line it up really good to glue it down, when I got to actually cutting it, a lot of my flour was gone. All right. Again, you can see that this one falls out a little more easily. I'm just going to do it over here off to the side so I don't make a mess on my stamped surface for the most part. All right, so now there's just a few pieces left. So now I'm going to go ahead, poke it so it comes out. Oh. And then there's still some pieces in there. So go ahead, let me dump these pieces out from the magenta layer. Let's just go ahead and carefully go over that. Look how they're all absolutely just falling out. We'll have very few that we have to pick out by hand. All right, looks just like some of these little here. Oh my gosh, there's so much static electricity in the air today. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, because you want these all out, because once you stick this down on the magenta layer, if you don't have them out, they're going to be harder to get because of that adhesive. All right, and let's move this out of the way right now. Get some of these scraps out of my way. I am going to go ahead and peel this now. And then I'm going to see what's left for my little holes. See, a lot of those came up when I did that. Get those off. So let's see. It looks like I got all the holes. All right. So let's bring that over here. And let's go ahead and lay that down. And we're lining up those edges. And once we line up the edges, everything else should just fall into place. Look at that. How beautiful. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get one of those alcohol. Now these are already mounted. They're just going to be our background. All right, let's see. So this piece needs to be 3 1/2 high and 4 wide. But since this is 3 1/2 by 4 this way, I'm going to do it the other way. So we're going to mount it down, but then I'm going to turn it this way to cut, and we're going to go from top to bottom, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and cut this to 3 1/2 by 4. And I want to make sure I get I don't want any of those white edges to show. So here's 4. We're going to do 3.5. So I'm going to cut off that one little white part. And now we're going to measure 3.5. Okay. Making quite the mess here. So now we're going to stick this down to that piece. So we're going to peel off that layer off of the magenta part. I'm trying to do this carefully so I don't take off. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm taking it off gently because I don't want to pull it off the bumblebee layer. All right, there we go. Excellent. And now we're going to lay it down here. I'm just lining up the edges. Anything we have left over the edge, we will go ahead and take our snips and cut it off. Just a little bit there. Nothing. Oh, a little piece there. There we go. All right. So now you're going to cut on the 4-inch side. So we're going to be cutting it here. We're at 1/2. And then we'll go to 3/4. Then we'll go we're going to go 1/2 here. And, ooh, wait a minute. So we're going to go 1/2, then we'll go 5/8, 3/8, 1 inch, 3/8, 5/8, 1/2. All right, and that makes up 4 because your 2 1/2s on either end are 1 inch. Your 5/8 and 3/8 is 8/8, so that's another inch. And then that leaves an inch in there. So it'll be 1 inch between these two, an inch each here, and that'll leave an inch in the middle. But we want to cut consecutively. And this is why it's so important that, and you know what, let me get a block just to make sure it's all adhered. All right. Because once you cut this, you pretty much, it's done. All right. And this is where, if you have a guillotine cutter, I would recommend it. I'm going to use the guillotine cutter that was available when you signed up to be a hostess. I think it was a year ago. I know you can't buy it now, but you can't. You know what? No, we're going to use our trimmer because it works perfectly. You just have to be careful with some of those lines. So the first cut we have is 1/2 inch. You want to make sure your tray is down. And you have to go kind of fast. You don't want to, like hesitate or else it might get stuck. Our next cut is 5/8. So here's the 1/2 mark. And then it's just that mark right after the 1/2. So that's 5/8. Now we're going to go 3/8. So there's going to be a little mark right before the 1/2. And I don't know if you can see, I'm putting them over here. Now this is our 1 inch. And then back to your 3/8. So that's a little mark over. And that leaves your 1/2. All right. So now here comes the even more fun part. Yay me. All right. So now to get that kaleidoscope effect, you're going to first get your, let me get my Misty Moonlight and pull it out, sorry. Go over here. So, since this is 1 inch by 3.5, we're going to make this 1 inch. No, we're not. Other end. We're going to make this 1 inch and 1/8. We want very small layers here. And we're probably going to overlap. 1 inch and 1/8 by, and you're just going 1/8 over that 3.5 mark. All right, I want to make sure I don't have it in the same direction. There we go. All right, so you're going to have a very small mark. Let me see if this has started. I'm still on that last little bit, and I like lining it up over here against my cutter. It gives me a nice solid edge to look at when I'm pushing it down. All right, so that's my middle piece. These, remember, are 1/2 inch by, we're not going to worry, oh, I have to do it. I have to cut it first. All right, let's do the cutting. So then your 2 end pieces, you're taking 3/4 off of each of the ends. So 3/4 and 3/4. I'm measuring over on this side. So we're doing that on the 2 ends. You're taking 3/4 off. Okay, your 2 middle pieces, you're taking 1/2 inch off. So we're reducing it by 1/4. So we're taking 1/2 and 1/2. So there's that piece. And then let's do it with this piece here. All right, your next piece in, so this is the 3/8, you're taking off 1/4. Again, see, we're reducing it by that 1/4. So let's, all right, so there's your pieces. Now, yes, these all get thrown away. I know, I don't throw anything away, but I'm throwing this away. All right, so now we're going to do our layers. So this is your piece that's 1/2 by 2. So we're going to cut 2. We're going to go 2 1/8. And we're going to go just the 1/8 over that 1/2 inch mark. Oh my gosh. All right, so that looks good. Again, bring it over here so I can look at my and if I didn't get it really centered good, it's not going to be that big of a deal because we are going to kind of be overlaying these a little bit, or I can take the snips and trim it off. Now, when this card originated on the internet and among demonstrators, and you know, we case everything. We copy and share everything. Case. They used the New Horizons designer paper, which is a fabulous paper, and it's much easier. But since I'm doing the retired, I wanted to use a retired set. So this is 2.5 inches. So see how that's already kind of at that. So that's 2.5. So we'll be good. See, there's the 2 8. All right, we'll take off a smidgen. And I believe this is the one that's a 3/8. No, this is the 5/8. All right, so here's this. So 5/8. So we're going to go to 6/8. So here's 4/8, 5/8, 6/8. Oh, well, that'd be, yeah, 3/4. But it's here. It's not. Fractions are hard. Math is hard. All right, so let's go ahead. Get that. That one is, did I go upside down? Yes. Really should not be changing directions. You know me, I get myself confused. Sorry for the silence. All right, so there's that. And now the last piece, this is the skinny piece. This is 3/8. And it is 3/8 by 3. So that means we're going to go to 1/2 by 3 1/8. So let's go. I'm going to do a long one here. So let's go 1/2. And 3 1/8. I think that's what I said, right? Yep. All right, so let's go ahead, put down our stamp and seal here. Oh, I got that way too far over. Let's see if I can move it just a little bit. All right, there's that. Oh, and my last piece. And it helps that there's a little bit of height to this because my stamp and seal is really grabbing on that cardstock. Let me see here. All right. Whew. This is the one where you think you'd want it, you know, completely thought out and done beforehand, but not always. Now here is the big question. Where did I put my bone folders? Guys, all right, we're not gonna, I'll just line this up like this and I'll use a block. That's the bad thing about rearranging your room and getting a new countertop. It's like, where did I hide everything? Because they were always right here, and this is no longer the way it is. Okay, so anyway, so let's go ahead, and this is when you want zeroing, 0 center paper. Now it's up here on my cards, on my table picture, my grid paper, but of course you can't see it there. So let me go ahead and grab one of the small ones. I thought this had zeroing on it. Oh, it doesn't. Why did I think there was a 0 mark on there? All right, let me grab Then another sheet from over here off of my shelf. Sorry. Just so you can see, at the top there's that zero center. So I'm putting this at 2 3/4 and 2 3/4. So here's my 0, because that's where you want your first piece to go. All right, so it's at 2 3/4, 2 3/4. Here's my 0, because this will dictate everything from here. Now we're going to lay it out. If you lay it out completely like this, you're going to see how that goes. Or you can leave a little bit of a grout, which I think I'm going to do. All right, so let's go ahead, put a little tape on there. I'm lining up the image, but I'm leaving a little bit of grout. I may be completely off camera when I'm putting on the tape, and I'm sorry about that. All right, a little bit of grout, but those are lining up there. A little bit of grout. Gosh, you would think like I actually tiled my bathroom or something. Nah. Would never do that. There's someone far better out there in the world than me to do that. So you want to make sure that you're lined up. See, that doesn't look right. Did I pick this up backwards? No, there it is. All right. And there you go. And then, I'm not going to do this right now because I've left you on so long, but you can then do like the greeting. Oh, let's just, you know what? Let's just do a hello. We're not even going to layer it. You could layer it. We have a lot of layers going on though right now, so I'm not going to. You can do some of these in the background, but let's just go ahead. Do the little hello from there. And gems. Oh my gosh. I have to tell you this. Very, very sad. I'm going to use my Genial Gems because they're retiring them. Oh my gosh. I am so sad, guys. I'll still use them on my personal projects, but I won't be showing them anymore after May 3rd. I think I am finally at the end of my putty. There you go. Oh my gosh, my dog's scaring me again. I don't know if you heard him come in earlier. It kind of startled me. Sorry about that. But now that I've rearranged the room, he sneaks in easier. Oh my gosh, it's so scary. So there you are, guys. A panorama card, or I don't know what they're calling it. I will go ahead and I'll put it in the description and give credit to the people that I took it from. Of course, like I said, they were using the New Horizons paper, designer paper. Of course, I have to make it more difficult and use a retiring set, a retiring Stampin' die set. All right, guys, have a great Sunday. Here's that Kansas wins today because I'm the only one in my family bracket pool that has their champion still intact, so it might be a good day. All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one and be safe.